Hey guys, Desert Diamond Detailing here. Today we're going to be polishing up a oxidized hood. It's not super oxidized, but you can definitely tell it's starting to. We're going to do a rotary cut with it, get a lot of it out, make it shine really good. And then we'll finish it up with a 25mm DA polisher. This one is from Harbor Freight, and this is a Makita. For the rotary, what we're going to be using is a white cutting pad with rebars or rehabs, P&S rehabs correction cream. I use this for cutting, for polishing. This stuff works great. Good price. Really like this stuff. When we do the DA, we're going to do after the rotary, we're going to finish it up with a polish, or start it off with a polishing pad. Get a lot of the heavy stuff out of there. Get the rotary trails out of there. You can finish with the rotary. I just personally like to do the polisher after, or the DA after that. So this is a medium polishing pad. And then to finish it all up, we will do it with a finishing pad. I'm going to use this compound for the whole process. I'm going to do something a little bit different today though. We're going to cut with the rotary on half the hood, and we'll cut with other half of the hood with the 25mm throw, to kind of show you some differences and show you kind of how I do it a little bit different. I use these on different applications, different paint correction that is needed. It really all depends on kind of what the paint looks like and what the outcome is set to be, what kind of outcome the customer's wanting. If the customer's wanting, you know, like 50 to 60% better, you know, I'll usually just do this with a polishing pad, and that's pretty much it. If they want it dang near perfect, or you don't see anything and they're going to ceramic coat it afterwards, usually I'll do rotary with that. It's a little bit heavier cut, removes a little bit more paint, or clear coat, sorry. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. With polishing, you guys need to know that when you're trying to remove swirls or scratches, this doesn't fill the scratches. It's not a filler. You're actually removing clear coat, very small amounts. Unless you're doing really, really heavy, then you're going to remove more amounts. But you're just going down to the surface of that scratch, so of those swirls. I'm going to be paint correcting. Sorry that the video is going to be moving, but as you can see, there's no gloss to it. I mean, a little bit up there, but nothing down here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but very grainy. You can feel the oxidation in there. You can feel how rough the paint is. So we're going to be removing all that, getting all that out. But as you can see, it's not a great looking hood. It's very dull. I want to bring that shine out and make it look like that up there. If I can get to that level, which I will, it'll look fabulous. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So I have the camera set up here. I'll kind of show you how I start the process. This pad's dirty, but I've been doing other stuff and just cleaning it as I go. But to truly get all this grit and stuff off, you have to hand wash it, which I could do a video on that if you guys want. So this is not a brand new pad. It's been used on this van before. That's why it looks like that. So we just stick that on there. It's already been prepped, so there's already my rotary. So speed 3 or 4. We'll see how it kind of goes. I kind of judge it by how I feel on the paint and what's kind of grabby. So we're going to start off on a very mild one. So we're going to start on a 1.5-ish. Spread the polish around. Then we'll kick it up to a 3 or 4. I'm going very fast. I'm not trying to do any cutting right now. I'm just trying to spread it out. Now that the product's spread out, we're going to start on a 3. We're going to do just back and forth. Not really going to go up and down, but I'm just going to go back and forth. So I'm using very light pressure. I'm not grinding into it, trying to, you know, like grind metal away. I'm just trying to get a very light pressure on there. I usually use the pressure of the machine, and I tilt it up just a little bit. You don't have to, you can use the whole pad, but I tilt it up because these corners right here, you know, I want to get inside those, make sure I'm spreading everything, doing an even polish on everything. That's how I like to do it. I don't like to go up and down. I like to stay consistent and cover everything. I know I'm doing a good job because I can see where I'm polishing. I'm going to do another second coat. I'll probably kick it up to speed 4. So again, just 4 small dots is all you need. You don't need to use a whole lot of polish. I'm not going to wipe this away just because I can see through the polish. I can see kind of how it's turning out. I think that wiping it away every time isn't necessary. You can see through polish and kind of see what you're doing, see how good of a job you're doing. That's how I like to do it. Everybody does things a little bit differently. Find what works best for you. You don't have to follow everything somebody does to a T. Watch a ton of different videos, watch a ton of different people, see what you like out of it. Give it a shot on your own stuff. Try things out. See what works. That's really all you can do. You'll find your own technique as you go along. So again, just spreading the polish out. Going very fast, not trying to cut with that. Now we're setting it to speed 4. So these are the towels that I use to wipe off the polish. They're about a medium quality. They're not like super thick, super plush. They're also not super thin and grainy. They're nice in between. I like these for picking up all the polish off the hood or whatever you're polishing. You don't have to do like any crazy things. You can get this wet or damp, with some rinseless wash. It'll help pick up the polish so you're not hurting your shoulder, struggling to get it all off. But as you can see, just with 2 passes with a heavy cut on a rotary, a lot of the luster and shine came back. Paint feels a little bit grainy, especially down here still. Probably do one more good pass, maybe 2, but it's already improving. You can see a reflection right there. So we're getting better. See if the camera won't focus on my finger, but you can see the reflection right there. So we're getting better. You can see this side hasn't been done, so you can kind of see a difference in between. I don't like to use tape because tape has adhesive, and if you put a piece of tape right here and you're hitting it over with your polisher, you're heating up that adhesive, and it's going to burn into the paint, and then you have to work a little bit harder to get it out of there. I still think if you do it this way, you still get that for your videos before and after effect. You can see that transition. So I'm not a huge believer in the tape. If you wanted to do a test spot on a client's car, I highly recommend not doing tape, because you'll leave that in there and a client could get mad if they don't really like your results. Be confident in what you're doing though. So you don't see tape, that's why I don't use tape. But we're going to do probably 2 more passes of another cut with the rotary, and then we'll go back with the D8. I like to blotch it around. Some people say you're putting scratches into it. Realistically, I'm taking scratches out and oxidation out, so I don't really. Yeah, I just like to do blotches. Like I said, find a technique that works for you. Find what you like best. Use that. We're going to do speed 4 again. So it's looking really good. I can tell there's a little bit down here still. I'll do one more pass, but I'm going to do a little bit lower speed. Go a little bit slower here, but I'm going to do a lower speed just to help get the what they call buffer trails out. So you're just going to see lines that go this way. And if you don't go behind and fix those, and let's say you put a ceramic coating or wax, you're going to see that when the sun hits it perfectly, and it's going to look awful. So you always, if you're doing a heavy cut on a rotary and you know how to do a polish on a rotary, do a polish. If you don't know how to do a polish on a rotary and you're not comfortable with it, do a polish on the DA. I'm going to show the DA because I like it a little bit better, and I'm not super comfortable with the polishing aspect of this. But that's how you can do that. So we're going to do one more pass. Make sure you keep your pads clean. If you're going from this panel to that panel or this side to that side, even here you could probably clean your pad every once in a while. Helps not prevent, helps keep the contamination down and keep your pad cleaner, lasting longer. I will show you what I use in just a second. Once again, going slow, spreading the polish around. It's going to be like a speed 3. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm lifting it up, not having a lot of pressure on the whole pad, trying to get some of that pressure off there, do a little bit lighter. So I'm kind of tilting this to where, I don't know if you can see it, but it's not that harsh, but it's about like that. Not a lot of pad surface, just trying to be really light with it to help get a lot of those buffer trails out. But we'll show you kind of what I'm working with here. So you can't super tell, which I'm kind of bummed about. I was hoping it would show. You can kind of see a little bit there. But overall, looks a ton better. So now we're just going to finish it up. So you can kind of see right there at the bottom of the screen the trails that are left behind. That's what we're going to get rid of on this next step here. So I'll show you how to prep a pad again. That way you guys can kind of see that again and get going. So this is a fresh new pad here. Get into the camera view. We got a fresh new pad, nothing on it. So what we're going to do is I like to start in the middle. Just do kind of light, you don't have to go crazy, and just work my way out. And then I rub it in there. Rub it around. And you can use a tool, and use your finger, really whatever works. Now that's pretty prepped. Just gonna 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, nothing super crazy. We're gonna crank this up to speed 6 when we're polishing. So we're gonna do down to a speed 1 when we spread the polish around. All we're doing there is just making sure we get the polish spread out evenly throughout the hood. And we're going to go back on speed 6 and actually begin the polishing. So I'm going to do one more pass on the hood with the yellow pad. This is why you want to keep your pad clean. I'll show you guys how to do that in the next section here. But we're just going to, since we're doing exactly the same spot, not wiping anything off, 4 more small dots, nothing crazy. We're going to drop down from a speed 6 to a speed 3.5 or 3. Get a lot of the lighter, do a lighter polish, but I'll probably do 2 passes. So one this way and then one up and down. So one side to side and one up and down on a speed 6. And then we'll drop it down to a speed 4 or 3 and finish off the last 2 cross sections on a speed 3. Once again, spread your polish around before you just go full bore. Here goes speed 6. Drop down to a speed 3. So one thing I want to talk about is when you see me holding this, I'm not using a ton of pressure. I hold the tail end of it with my fingers, like 2 or 3 fingers under here, and just kind of supporting the cord so it's not running all over things. I do my best. I don't like to wrap the cords around appendages just in case this does catch somewhere. It could get caught on like a wiper blade or something and then wrap around, like catch and go flying off, and then wraps your appendage and you could hurt yourself. So I typically don't like to do that, so I try my best to support it up. If you can see all that flexion there, it keeps a lot of it off. And then when I'm holding the top of this, my thumb usually sits about here. You can kind of see where I wear my thumb a lot. So my thumb usually sits right around here, and then I keep my fingers kind of wrapped around like this, keeping my finger off of this, like my pinky, and I try to hold it like this. So I'm not using a lot of pressure, I'm just kind of putting my thumb down into it and holding this end of it up so it kind of looks like this. That's how I try to hold it. Seems to work really well. I don't like putting a lot of pressure. You don't want to sit here and drive all your pressure into it. That's going to burn through paint. This way works really well. Now we're going to wipe off this polish because we're going to go down to our finishing polish. Hood is looking really good. Feels really smooth. Now we're just working on getting all the defects out of there that I can. I'm not trying to go crazy. I'm not trying to make it perfect. Just trying to make it like 70 to 80% better. Make it look good, presentable. That way when I'm going to a client's house or something, they see my van is glossy, looks good. That's the results I'm trying to go for. This isn't a showroom vehicle. I don't need to get everything out of there like that. It's a piece of rust. I mean, yeah, I could go over it with paint and do all that, but I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to get better results. And as you can see, it's already looking pretty awesome. So, now we're going to do finishing pad. We'll do 2 passes with the finishing pad. We'll get that off there. When you're taking your pads off, it's important to not be aggressive and take your time, because there's the backing plate right here and the pad. So that black section right there, you can separate them if you're not careful. They make tools, but I tend to just work my way around it, be nice and soft, and just keep working at it. And once you get a little bit halfway, you can take the whole thing off without causing any damage. It's just a hook and loop system. Works really well. These are Max Shine pads. I don't know if I mentioned that. Love a lot of their products. Their products are good. They get me really great results. So I didn't show you, but I did prep the pad. I put a little too much on there. That's why this looks really thick. Put a little too much polish on there. It happens. It's okay. You can work with it. Maybe just for the next pass, instead of doing 4, maybe just do 2. Because you're going to have a lot of polish on your pad still. You're going to have a lot of polish on there. You don't really need to add a whole heck of a lot. So just be careful. Not careful, but just be cognizant of how much polish you're putting on there, because essentially you're not really going to be doing much. You're not going to do any correcting. You're just spreading polish around and wasting time. You don't need to be super fast about doing your stuff. You just need to have a good technique. When you have a good technique, things go faster. Not that you're speeding yourself up. You're just being more smooth. So slow is smooth. Have a good technique. Don't rush through things. And you'll be all right. So we're going to do 2 passes again with a speed 6, and we'll drop down to a speed 3. Speed 3. Alright, that was our final pass. I'm going to go through, wipe off all the polish, and show you the results with the rotary. This video will be broke up into 2 sections, so I'll do a part 1 and a part 2. That way you can see the difference between the 2. I'll make sure we get all the polish off there. Again, you can use a wet towel or damp towel with some rinseless wash to help the process. Whatever works for you. If you want to save your shoulders, that's a good way to do it. Just when you do that, make sure you have another towel to go back behind and dry everything off. But this is just a before and after of one side of the hood. So this side here has been nothing. This side here has been corrected. Very smooth. Looks good. A lot better results. Now I'll show you with a light. So this is what everything looks like in natural light. Looks really good. But again, if your detailer isn't showing you what it looks like in the sunlight or anything like that, ask him why. Bear with me for a second. I'm trying to do this. Now this is what it looks like. Indirect light, nice and up close. Don't really see swirls. Don't see rotary marks. It looks really good. It is white paint, so they're harder to find, but I'm trying to catch all angles here for you. Can't really see much. So that right there is what a rotary and a DA finishing does. Rotary did the cut, DA did the finishing. Used a cutting pad. I think it turned out really good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you have any questions, I will link everything I used down below. But there's your results. This right here is the midway line. That's why you see that. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2.